A mysterious radio signal is received by the SETI project on 3 different occasions. In February 2003, astronomers with the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, the SETI project, used a massive telescope in Puerto Rico to re-examine 200 sections of the sky, which had all previously yielded unexplained radio signals. These signals had all disappeared except for one, which had become stronger. The signal, widely thought to be the best candidate for alien life, comes from a spot between the constellations Pisces and Aries, where there are no obvious stars or planets. Curiously, the signal is at one of the frequencies that hydrogen, the most common element, absorbs and emits energy. Some astronomers believe that this is a very likely frequency at which aliens wishing to be noticed would transmit. Whenever things are backed by science, I'm ready. I'm like, ooh, really? Are we curious? What's happening? But I'm pretty sure this was debunked. There's an article that's been showing up on my newsfeed about other signals happening that are kind of propelling these questions about whether aliens are actually trying to interact with us. So, who knows? That would be so nuts, though. That would really, really be so amazing that people on the other side of the universe, people, them, they, whatever, are just as curious about communicating with us. Well-known encounters. Barney and Betty Hill's abduction. The Hills above claim that in 1961, a bright light swooped over their car on a New Hampshire road, and that they woke up a few hours later and that the car had been magnetized. With aggressive hypnosis, both were able to recall being abducted and probed by the little gray man, which soon became the de facto alien description. Foo Fighters! In the middle of World War II, things took a mysterious turn for Air Force pilots flying overnight missions. They reported seeing lights chasing their aircraft. The number varied, sometimes it was 1, other times it was 10, and so did the colors, red, orange, and green. But the unidentified objects shared in common that they moved very fast, up to 200 miles per hour, wow, yet could dart on a dime. These pilots, among the best in the world, admitted the objects generally flew circles around them. Well, it doesn't sound like that's technology from like Germany or Russia, because they definitely would have exploited that at the time, because they were losing. Well, actually, they weren't losing for a bit; they were winning, and then we got that upper hand, and then they just could never get it back. But that's a very simplistic description of World War II. Elon Musk. Musk is hell-bent on using his $21 billion to colonize Mars. I support that. His company, SpaceX, has been trying desperately to reduce the cost of space travel in the hopes of beginning a 1 million-person colonization of Mars. Quote, if we're not in a simulation, then maybe we're in a lab and there's some advanced alien civilization that's just watching how we develop out of curiosity like mold in a petri dish, says Musk. Jeff Bezos, his company Blue Origin is competing with Elon Musk's SpaceX to launch reusable rockets and comically rich tourists into space. You know what? Whoever gets there first, amazing. I kind of am rooting for Musk though, because I like how he's trying to make it cheaper and not just like another privilege that the rich get. There should never be that many rich people. Like, just help out, man. I mean, I like what they're doing. I mean, I like what Musk is doing. I'm not a huge fan of Bezos, to be fair. He knows now. Sorry. Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Central Dark, and today we are expanding our boundaries and reaching all the way towards the stars to see if aliens are here with us today, right now. Maybe I'm one. The way I'm acting today, I'm of the opinion that I might be one. I don't even know who I am today. Oh, and stay tuned for bloopers at the end, because there most likely will be some. There is documentation. In 2012, the photographer Stephen Kirst asked UFO convention attendees who claimed to have had personal contact with extraterrestrials to draw and describe their experiences. Camille, a beam of solid blue light came through her ceiling and transported her onto a table where she was surrounded by beings in white robes with high collars. Rita said she has been visited by a golden reptilian alien throughout her life. Are the Scientologists right? We don't know! Are the Thetans real? Who knows? The thing that blows my mind about this is that, how did these images come about? Like, how? Why is this something that people are thinking about all the time? And why do these images keep popping up? And I mean, it could be that once one person made it up, a whole bunch of others copied it, or it was instilled in our brains. So the only way our imagination can picture aliens is that like bulbous Paul-looking dude with a Seth Rogen voice. At least that's how I picture aliens. The red tinge of Jupiter's moon Europa. Alien microbes might be behind Europa's red tinge, suggested NASA researchers in 2001. Though the surface is mostly ice, data shows it reflects infrared radiation in an odd manner. That suggests that something, magnesium salt perhaps, are binding it together, but no one has been able to come up with the right combination of compounds to make sense of the data. Intriguingly, the infrared spectra of some earthly bacteria, those that thrive in extreme conditions, fits the data at least as well as magnesium salts. Plus, some are red and brown in color, perhaps explaining the moon's ruddy complexion. Though bacteria might find it difficult to survive in the scant atmosphere and minus 170 degrees Celsius surface temperature of Europa, they might survive in warmer liquid interior. Geological activity could then spew them out periodically to be flash frozen on the surface. Science rules! I don't know. That sounds very similar to a case that's on Venus right now, or that they're actually going to be sending a probe to Venus to figure out, because they found hints of anaerobic bacteria through the they found evidence of phosphine, which is something that a specific kind of bacteria also emits, and they survive extreme conditions. So they think that maybe they also exist on Venus, which would actually be sign of life. 1996, Martian. 1996, Martian fossils are discovered in meteorite ALHA4001 from Antarctica. NASA scientists controversially announced in 1996 that they had found what appeared to be fossilized microbes in a potato-shaped lump of Martian rock. The meteorite was probably blasted off the surface of Mars in a collision and wandered the solar system for about 15 million years before plummeting to Antarctica, which is where it was discovered in 1984. Careful analysis revealed that the rock contained organic molecules and tiny specks of the mineral magnetite, sometimes found in Earth bacteria. Under the electron microscope, NASA researchers also claim to have spotted signs of nanobacteria. But since then, much of the evidence has been challenged, rightly so. Other experts have suggested that the particles of magnetite were not so similar to those found in bacteria after all, and that the contaminants from Earth are the source of the organic molecules. Interesting. A 2003 study also showed how crystals that resemble nanobacteria could be grown in the laboratory by chemical processes. Very interesting. Again, if it's backed by scientists, I'm willing to support it. There was a time when I wish I could have been a scientist, but it no longer clicked, sadly, but it blows my mind to read about it and listen to it, and I think it's fantastic. So, in terms of this one, I don't think these are Martian fossils. I actually do kind of side with the belief that it's organic material that interacted with the meteorite, It's not bacteria brought to Earth by the meteorite. The unexplained extraterrestrial WOW signal is detected by Ohio State University radio telescope. In August 1977, an Ohio State University radio telescope detected an unusual pulse of radiation from somewhere near the constellation Sagittarius. The 37-second long signal was so startling that an astronomer monitoring the data scrawled "WOW" on the telescope's printout. That's cute. The signal was within the band of radio frequencies where transmissions are internationally banned on Earth. Furthermore, natural sources of radiation from space usually cover a wide range of frequencies. As the nearest star in that direction is 220 million light years away, either a massive astronomical event or intelligent aliens with a very powerful transmitter would have had to have created it. The signal remains unexplained. Creepy. I mean, realistically, it's the massive astronomical event, because things like supernovas and even dwarf stars can emit really strong signals throughout the galaxy when they do the thing. So, I don't know. 1976, the Viking Mars landers detect chemical signatures indicative of life. Tests performed on Martian soil samples by NASA's Viking landers hinted at chemical evidence of life. I love the title, Viking landers. Nice. One experiment mixed soil with radioactive carbon-labeled nutrients and then tested for the production of radioactive methane gas. The test reported a positive result. The production of radioactive methane suggested that something in the soil was metabolizing the nutrients and producing radioactive gas. That's very interesting. But other experiments on board failed to find any evidence of life, so NASA declared the result as a false positive. Despite that, one of the original scientists and others who have since reanalyzed the data still stand by the finding. They argue that the other experiments on board were ill-equipped to search for evidence of the organic molecules, a key indicator of life. We still have so much to discover about Mars, and it looks like in the next few decades, not next few decades, but probably like 40, 50 years, 60 years even, we might actually even make a trip out there. I know we're going to the moon in about 2 years, and if that goes well, if that goes long term, then we're going to Mars. So, I think we're gonna find out a lot more when we're actually on Mars and we actually got boots on the soil so that we can perform experiments there. So I don't know. Like all of it's so much of it's speculation, and like I just want somebody to say, yes, it's aliens. Yes, it is, instead of just living in this realm of maybe? You know, I just want to know. I want to know. Harry Reid says we're not taking them seriously enough. You're not taking me seriously enough. Imagine yelling that at a person. Quote, I'm glad the Pentagon is finally releasing this footage, but it only scratches the surface of research and materials available, unquote. Tweeted Reid, the former Senate Majority Leader. Quote, the U.S. needs to take a serious scientific look at this and any potential national security implications. The American people deserve to be informed, unquote. For Reid, who served in the Senate from Nevada for 3 decades and led his party in the chamber for 12 years before retiring in 2017, the footage, which was compiled by a group funded by Tom DeLonge, a founding member of the pop-punk group Blink-182. Cool. Is simply a confirmation of what he has long believed and advocated for in the halls of Congress. We may not be alone. I agree with you, Harry Reid. I think maybe now we're starting to take things seriously, but should have happened a lot sooner. Maybe we would have discovered something sooner if we weren't just like sleeping and brushing off all these allegations as like hillbilly nonsense. I don't know, maybe. But then again, there's a lot of hillbilly nonsense. There's just been a lot of weird things. And I think it's important that we do look into them, which I feel like is gonna bring us to number 1. Government literally just admitted it's taking you. I love when number 2 is like, take me seriously. Number 1 is, government literally just admitted it's taking UFOs seriously. A 2004 encounter near San Diego between 2 Navy F/A-18F fighter jets and an unknown object. In 1952, a CIA group called the Psychological Strategy Board concluded that when it came to UFOs, the American public was dangerously gullible and prone to hysterical mass behavior. Side note, which is probably why the American people, or just humanity, is not ready to know. Like maybe we know. Maybe there are people higher up who know and are holding onto the information because they have to slowly acclimatize the public to this idea, because otherwise there will be hysterics. People will lose their minds. So many questions, especially around like religion, are gonna happen, and nobody's gonna be able to handle it unless it's like slowly seep through the cracks and we acclimatize ourselves to the idea that aliens are actually here. So that's a potential idea. The group recommended debunking campaigns to tamper the public's interest in unexplained phenomenon. But the government seems to have been interested too. Pentagon confirmed the existence of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. Created in 2007 by Senators Ted Stevens, who reported being chased by a mysterious object, Daniel Inouye, and then Majority Leader Harry Reid, and funded with $22 million of black money from the Department of Defense's budget. The program investigated and evaluated reports of UFO sightings, many of which came from American service members. Oh, okay, I see. So they're only taking people they deem as sane. Like they're only taking accounts from like people actually beside them, like their best friends in the Senate. They're like, oh, you did too? Cool. So it must be real. Let's fork over money that we don't know where it came from, but we're just gonna take it. Is that what black money is? It sounds like a black card. You know what I mean? Just do what you need to do. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Rachel Fisher. If you like this video, you know what to do. Like, follow, subscribe, and if you want to continue the dialogue on whether any of these are real, comment down below and let us know which you think is the most skeptical idea about aliens or the most truthful. Who knows? Anyways, folks, until next time, take care and stay scared. I didn't even ask you to record. My phone just does it. I don't know why. Okay. The signal, widely thought to be the best candidate for alien life contact. The signal absorbs and emits frequency. What? Anyways. Probe. What a funny word. But the unidentified object shared in what? But the I mean, that doesn't sound like technology from either. Wow. I'm forgetting all my World War II lingo. Not if you watch this, probably not. You do. Give some to charity. Anyways. But I think it's kind of weird about what words? Forgive me. When I'm filming this, it's the morning. Anyways, I'm not perfect. And some think that's charming. Jesus wept. I can't speak today. I'm sorry, guys. It's already 15 minutes. Jesus wept. Sorry, editors. So, god damn it. I sound like an idiot today, but it's fine, I guess. The footage, which was compiled by a group found by Tom DeLonge, a founding member of the pop-punk band group. What?